Their freedom,
Yeah, I don't think so.
Crap.
But okay, so you're right? But is that infringing on our freedom in some way? Like, shouldn't we have the freedom to, I don't know, like it's kind of a, like, okay, so why can't you burn a flag? You can burn a cross.
Well, you can't, you shouldn't do that either. It's just, you
know
just shouldn't do it.
But they say you can if then there's no law against you burning a cross.
Never thought about it, burning a cross.
I mean, me neither. But you know what I'm saying?
But
it's not on my bucket list. Trust me.
Yeah, but I mean, if a bunch of people decided, you know what, I'm going to drive on the other side of the road,
right?
Because I don't want to follow the laws of the country. I'm going to drive on the other side of the road. I want to drive on the sidewalk.
Right.
People are going to get hurt. You just don't do it. It's just common sense.
Okay, so here's the thing. So we live in a country where we have these freedoms, right, to do this thing and that thing. But some of the things that we have the freedom to do, somebody needs to step in and be like, but not that. Don't do that. Like, common sense. Hello. Don't burn the flag of the country that you supposedly pledge allegiance to, right? Just don't do that. That makes sense, right? But I guarantee you we're going to have a huge big deal about it now. We're going to go to Supreme Court. We're going to have jobs, this. People are going to be yelling and screaming about it. And all this stuff nowadays is about screaming about stuff that we kind of should have already fixed. Like, didn't we fix this in the civil rights? Didn't we fix this back in the Revolutionary War? Like, now we're going to... Remember the whole thing about the Confederate flag? And they were like, we got to take the Confederate flag down off the state buildings because it says something we don't really want to say anymore.
Right, but it's not. It's not. I mean, if you read your history, you'll find out that it's not what it's about.
Right.
But people just like anything. They just hear one little thing and they run with it.
Right. And that is exactly what happened, though. Enough people ran with it. They took all the flags down off the state buildings. Now, do I care? Me, I'm black. I don't care. I'm good. Thank God they gone. You know what I'm saying? But really, was it that flag that was creating any oppression for me? No, it wasn't the flag. It was the people that are, going off about all that stuff. Flag had nothing to do with it, in my opinion. But anyway, so that brings us to the topic of today, which is freedom. Woo! It's the Ace Michael Show, and we talking about freedom. Woo! Yeah. Freedom in the house, yo. That's what I'm talking about. Freedom. How free is free? Dumb. It's not really free, you dumbass. No, it's not really free. But my guest today, we'll talk a little bit about that. I have Jolynn on the show. And, of course, the always ever popular Nikki. Bun, dun, dun. What's going on, ladies?
How you doing, Ace?
Me is making it through all right. I'm making it through all right. There's been a lot of talk about what should and what shouldn't. And so let's right off the bat, let's address the elephant in the room, which is Jolynn is a transgender American. Okay, get over it. It happened. Now, pay attention. All right. So what do you have to say about yourself?
It's not a bad thing at all.
Not at all. Not even. It actually looks pretty good on you, I must say.
I've been working on it for quite a long time, and I have the support of Miss Nikki over here helping me out all the way. She's one of a million. And
people need to know the story. Now, Nikki is your wife.
Correct.
And Nikki is, what would you say, non-transgender, just gender? What are you, Nikki? Just born?
I'm just a regular female.
Nikki is a regular vagina American, right?
Yes.
And she is married to a transgender. Now, transgender, you are transsexual? Or you're a cross-dresser?
No, I'm way past cross-dresser.
You're past, because you actually have hormone therapy, right?
6 years.
6 years of hormone therapy, which does what for you?
Well, it gave me these.
It gave you the boobs? You didn't have a doctor give you boobs?
No, it's all hormones.
Hormones ain't no joke. Oh, shit.
That's some powerful stuff.
That is some powerful stuff. It just got real, homie. Wow, I did not know that.
Yes.
Well, if you look at my modeling pictures, which I was in 2 magazines, with nothing on, something that'll fit in a glass this big I was wearing, and it's all real. I mean, the hair's real. I spent a lot of money getting it colored to where I want it, but, hormones is amazing. It just changed my entire body, and I just lately noticed that my face is changing. And when you see your face every day, you don't notice a change. When people tell you, wow, you look a whole lot different, then you start noticing in certain light, walking past a car door or something, and you see your reflection. It's like, wow, like this really happened. And
I'm such a dumbass guy. I'm still going, you mean tell me your tits are big, real? Like everything you said, I'm still on the tits. Like, they're real and they're big.
They're real and they're big.
Shame on me. But you look great. I mean, okay, I get it. Hey, to you, darling, you doing it like a boss. I love it. So the two of you met post hormones or pre hormones?
During
hormone time.
I just started.
You just
just started, and being a musician, playing a lot of gigs out, you get a lot of attention from the pretty girls.
Mm-hmm.
So I started doing my photo shoots, and I was still playing off 80s rocker, kind of turning it to female about 6 years ago.
Yes.
And
Karma Chameleon, indeed.
Yeah. So all the girls I met, I would, after a couple minutes of talking to them, I could see that, they're interested in something may happen,
Yeah.
And I would immediately start talking about my modeling and look at my pictures from the last photo shoot I did, and one by one, I gotta go. So they weren't having it. They weren't interested in it. And for me, I really didn't care. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's somebody out there that's gonna just fall in love with me and just the way I am and everything else that, everything's gonna be good. It's gonna happen sooner or later. And it happened.
Be me.
And that is what's up. And thank God for that. Because the two of you are a beautiful couple. Now, I wanted to ask, do you think that more women are open to this type of lifestyle, or more men are open to this kind of lifestyle?
You want to answer this one?
To me, I think it's more maybe on the men's side, because women don't like to talk about it. You know?
Interesting.
Yeah.
See, I thought it would be just the opposite. That's funny. Now, really quickly, Nikki, just so you know, you freak us out because you look like a Latin lady, but you talk like a Texas lady, and we're not ready for that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm Cherokee. I have Cherokee Indian.
Okay.
She's a Southern belle, raised in a small hick town, and I'm from New Jersey, and I got that "how you doing" attitude. So when we have a conversation, that's entertainment. You know.
Clearly the question my listeners would want me to ask you is family. Your family, how did they deal with this? Like, Nikki, you go call home and you say, by the way, you're going to find a lot of similarities between me and my husband. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
that's a little bit a different story there.
Her mama fell in love with me.
Wow.
because her mama said one time, because her mama loved me, because I have the, I showed up with flowers the first time I met her, and I had her. That was it. That's all I had to do.
Wow.
So having a good personality, and by the end of being with her for a few hours, we're playing card games together, and she loved me. So then a little while later, she starts talking with Nikki about something about she doesn't have a pair of pants, and she said, "Well, Joe, I was going by Joey. Okay, so my legal name is Jolynn,
Sure.
so I shortened it to Jolynn.
Sure.
So, so her mother was talking about pants, and she says, "Well, Joey's probably the same size," and then she goes, "Well, actually, he would probably look pretty as a female." So she said, "Well, I'll dress him up and take a picture," but we already had a list of pictures we were going to send her. So she loved that, and then we were on vacation going down to beaches we went to Manhattan all the way down to Atlantic Beach down here in North Carolina, and we were 15 minutes away from her mama's house.
10 minutes.
In a Denny's. And she calls her mom up and says, "Come on down." And there I am with a little bikini top on, hair, makeup, my little cute little high heel sandals. And her mama came down, and I got her when she walked in the restaurant, I got her. And she just sat there staring at me saying, I love that. I looked so good. And I'm good to her.
Yeah.
I'm like really good to her. We've never argued in 6-7 years.
No, she couldn't find a better mate. Trust me, I know. Okay, just you good. Don't trip. But now, but here's the thing. Okay, here's a question for Nikki. Were you interested in women throughout your life? Were you interested in having relationships with women before you met Jolynn?
Well, no and yes.
Okay. So you were a college girl, right? So you had experimented, maybe. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
She had a girlfriend for a few years, which kind of made what I do a whole lot easier because she liked girls. So she likes girls and she likes guys. I wouldn't say the word men. I would say guys.
Okay.
So I'm kind of like, for her, I'm like an amusement park.
And that brings me to the clear question. There's still junk underneath the trunk, right?
Yes, there is.
Okay,
yes,
so you are getting literally the best of both worlds. You're in the Willy Wonka chocolate factory situation right now. You realize that. You realize it don't get no better than this.
No. And that's like the best part. She can be with whoever she wants whenever she wants.
Right. Ooh, deep. Literally. So now I get it. You guys, you met, you fell passionately in love, and the heart wants what it wants, and all those other things, they're just societal things anyway. Who cares? That's society. Now, some other people, being black myself, I grew up in the 80s, there actually was a time I couldn't walk down the street in my small town holding my white girlfriend's hand without somebody driving down the street, "When you put your here," and it just was what it was. And now the world is a different place. I don't think that would happen pretty much anywhere in America. Right. So what you guys have is unique and it's different. Now, here's the thing. Now that you've got this going on, what do you want to say to people who don't understand or who've never experienced or confused about even the idea? Because like you go see a movie, and every time they approach the issue of transgender, they make it into like, oh, this guy is a homicidal maniac because he's transgender. Silence of the Lambs and, Dexter and all these movies where these people are twisted because they are representing themselves in a different way sexually than the rest of us are the normal people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, there are a lot of normal people who really respect what I do.
Sure, I'm one of them, by the way.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And it doesn't take long to make up your mind about me. I'm not like a deer in headlights. I'm not like waiting for someone to notice. I'm in your face. I start the conversations. And I'll do the whole guy thing, scratch and grab and make adjust, and I make fun of myself, and it takes them by surprise. And then they say, but you like girls, and I said, I mean, like men, and I said, well, why would you say that? So because you dress like a woman. I said, well, so what?
Now, do you, Jolynn? Do you like men? Are you attracted to
No.
men? You're not attracted to men at all.
Men do nothing for me.
So you've always been attracted to women, right? And but you really felt an affinity towards women, so you felt like you should go ahead and maybe become one.
Yeah, I like them a little too much, I guess you could say. But I feel better this way, Ace. I mean, when I finally told somebody, and I'm not a spring chicken, I've been around. So when I hit 50 is when I decided I'm going to make this change.
Wow.
So, but for 50 years, I mean, I always had a hot girlfriend. If I couldn't do it myself, I wanted someone very close to me to do it so I can get the perfumes and watch the makeup and just admire. You know what I mean? And, but for all those years, you shove a lot of stuff down, My parents died within a year of each other, and I didn't cry. I wasn't devastated. I was upset, but I couldn't cry. And once I started being myself and, doing the whole 9 yards here, I'm 24/7. I work as female. I fly in planes as female. I live female. All my friends know me as female. I drum on stage female. And everybody knows that. But once that came out, you mentioned my parents' name, my father, my mother, and it's like Niagara Falls. It's like all this stuff came out. So and everybody's the same. Like all the girls that are like me, they all suppress all this stuff. And, there are suicidal tendencies for people who just don't understand themselves, or they're in a tight-knit Christian family and it's a big family and there's no way that they can come out to their family say that they were transgender or even say that they were gay at this point. They just, so they shove it all down inside, and then they get to the point where they want to explode, and sometimes people take their lives. I mean, society makes it that way. Families make it that way. The Bible makes it that way. I mean, it's not the norm, but in today's fashion, it is. And I think I'm the exception because I have biker guys, the nicest people in the world, and I'll sit on their lap. Well, it's everybody. Everybody that I know, I can sit on their lap and they kiss me on the cheek and they hug me, and it's not a bad thing. Like nobody gives them crap for it, saying, "Oh, what are you hugging Jolynn for?" Because you know what's going on. They're like, "I just love her," and they treat me as a her. There's no gender here, And then I got this nice shiny wife that still smells brand new from when I bought her, and I still have the receipt, so you watch it, Missy.
That's all right.
And the two of
I got
you
papers.
And the two of you are beautiful together. You make a really good couple, and you do a show together, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But just curious, this is a weird question, but think about this. Is there ever any chance in a million bajillion years that you would wake up one day, Jolynn, and say, okay, no, I went through a phase. Sorry, let me get this stuff off. What was I thinking?
No, never, because I started this when I was 10 years old. And it's always been a part of my life. And growing up, there was always, I didn't know it at the time, but there was something missing. Like my entire life, till I hit 50. And then, I had a lot of bad business, and I went through a bad marriage. I have 2 grown kids in college, and I went through a really crappy time, and I said, that's it. I'm going for it. And here I am today talking to you. So it's a good thing. But I would never go back.
And let me ask you a question, Nikki. So, again, this is far out. But let's say that Jolynn did wake up one day and say, you know what, I was tripping. I don't know what I was thinking. I want these breasts off. Get them off me. Get them off me. Get them off me. Would you still be interested in being in a relationship if Jolynn wasn't a transgender man, woman?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
it doesn't change who the person is. They're still the same person, regardless. So, whatever what you may decide, I'm there 100%.
But I mean, Ace, I got to tell you this, and I love this woman to death. And when we met, we just said, "Well, that's it. We're together forever. There's no separation. There's no nothing here. We finally connected as a couple.
Sure.
Well, we connected up here, not downstairs. We connected up here. All that is just like the cherry on top. And if I wanted to have bottom surgery, she would be there 100% for me too. For that.
Sure. Do you think that the two of you will inspire more couples to come out of the closet, maybe? Because I think there's a lot of couples who are probably doing this and they don't want anybody to know. More so than people who might be deciding to do it. I think there's people who are actually living the life and are afraid to come out and talk about it.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm. That is true.
You damn right it's true.
I know it's true.
No, I know it's true too. It's my show. It's gonna be true on my show. No, I'm kidding.
That's right.
But what would you say to people? I don't want to tell you to motivate them, but what would you say to people if you could give a piece of advice to them? What would you say? They're listening now. You have the floor.
I would say have an open mind. I mean, I'm not what the textbook says. None of us are. And, I mean, I'm better. I can treat a woman better than any guy can because I know how to treat them. When you do hormones, your brain changes too. Mm-hmm. So I know what I like and I know what she's thinking. Mm-hmm. And it's just common sense when you come home late and she doesn't have something cooked. So you jump in the kitchen and you cook something for her. What difference does it make? I mean, it's just you want to do stuff nice for your mate and keep her interested in you. You treat her like crap. She's going to just hate you for it. And it's just going to get worse. And then domestic violence and then people get shot and, divorces. I mean, we both went through ugly divorces. And we were both married to the wrong person for a lot of years and we both learned a lot about how to make a relationship work. And it's all good. When we talk about something, the TV goes off, the phone goes off, we look at each other in the face and we talk about it. And whatever it is. And everything is good. Every restaurant we go to is fine. Every bar, club, nightclub, event we go to, it's just fine. I mean, when you get a Jersey girl and they go, fine, that doesn't mean fine. That means all this other crap. But when she says fine, it's fine.
And the two
it's just.
And the two of you have a show. The two of you have a show that you're producing together. Let's talk a little bit about your show.
Okay, it's called One Hot Mess, and we started when we started being like me, when I started doing this full time, I was still playing 80s rocker in the beginning, and I would do this on the weekends. But the hormones kicked in, and then I got to the point where I'm like, I just can't go out without any eyeliner on. It's just to that point. So then we start gaining interest. People start inviting us to parties that we never went to because we're an item here. Sure. We're like entertainment. We get invited to a lot of places. And, it just took off. And then a studio contacted us because they got wind of us. We did a demo to pitch to the networks for a reality show. I mean, it's funny stuff that we do. So we start doing videos and got a YouTube channel going. The networks wanted to see more of a following. So we started doing that, and we kind of just bust each other's chops. we make fun of each other, and we just laugh at everything.
Well, like last night, that would have been a good one to have done.
Which
We were cracking them up.
She went to pick up new glasses, new specs.
Okay.
And we had the guy rolling. We just had the guy rolling because we were just doing our comedic back and forth.
Uh-huh.
The guy was just rolling. I'm like, where's my GoPro camera when you need it?
When you need it. Yeah, exactly. Now, the two of you are also models, right? So you both are models. You were modeling before you met each other, but sometimes now you also model together.
Yes.
Right.
Right? Does that ever get exploited? Do people ever want to take advantage of that in such a way that you feel uncomfortable?
No.
No?
Not yet. But when it does, then you have to do something about that.
Well, if there's a nice dollar amount involved, we're all trying to make a buck these days.
That's right.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
But, I mean, she's published in 3 pinup magazines. Coming out with another one, right?
2 more.
2 more.
Wow.
And I'm published in 2 transgender magazines.
Wow.
So we also do our stories together. Like, because, I'm transgender and I model. Okay? And she's a cis woman and she models. But now we're both modeling together and it's just blowing people's minds. And they have respect for us.
What was that kind of woman you called her? She's a what woman?
This woman.
A cis?
Cis. C-I-S.
A
Which
cis?
is basically a female.
What's okay, I'm about to show
Don't make me explain it.
Yeah, I'm about to show my ignorance. What's the cis woman?
Well, a cis woman is just like a regular woman with all the parts, born female and everything else. But when you start talking T-girls, transgender girls, and when I explain her, I have to tell people that she's a regular 100% country female, born and raised female, because they
what's country got to do with it?
Yeah, a lot of people think I'm transgender too, and I'm like, no, I got everything that I'm supposed to have here.
But technically, so does Jolynn. Actually,
that's true.
I have a little more.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got everything and some icing. You actually,
But you know what it is? It's like when people are like me and I say I have a wife, they figure I have someone just like me.
Sure,
like,
I did,
I'm a gay person and I'm with another gay person. So I have to explain that, she's a real female.
Right.
100% not manufactured, but born.
That's right. I was born this way.
She was born this way.
And I want to stress to people, too, you're not gay. You're transgender.
No, not at all.
2 very different things. That's like someone that plays football and someone that plays baseball. They might both be athletes, but they're 2 entirely different trains of thought. You're not gay at all because you are not homosexual. I like women. That's where your spice is women. Because it seems like you've been chasing women your whole life, you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look at you.
I got the best one.
And you caught the best fish in the pond for sure. The cutest cookie in the bag. That's real talk.
Yuppers.
So the show, where do we find the show? We want to watch it. We want to support what you guys are doing. What happens next?
You want to find the show on YouTube? It's the Jolynn and Nikki channel.
Nice.
There's a bunch of videos.
Nice.
She had surgery on her shoulder, so she's been out of commission. So we're going to start getting back into doing the One Hot Mess shows, and keeping the other show going. But we're just trying to make our mark. I mean, I would love to be on television with her in a show. And I think everybody, man, woman, kid, grown up, whatever, would watch it to see what's out there. And we're not harming anybody. We're just being ourselves.
Sure.
We're fun. People might learn something. People come up to me all the time and they start talking about that I'm so confident when I'm out, that they were holding something inside of them for all these years. Next thing you know, I'm sitting there and, he's sobbing in his own beer and I make him feel better. And, you only live once, so make it fun. This is not taboo. It's fun. There's nothing disgusting. There's nothing bad about it. There's there's just nothing bad here. It's just a great thing, and I'm enjoying the crap out of myself. And being with her is just a comedy in itself, So that's what we're pushing for.
I love it. Hey, man, you guys, thank you so much, Jolynn and Nikki, for being on the show today. And let's check out their show. Let's support. And hey, man, you know what I say at the end of every show? Live the life you love and love the life you live. And I couldn't think of a finer example right there. It's Ace Michael Show. Yo!
All right. Thanks for having us.